You're listening to Her Confidence Her Way Podcast, episode 122. Hello, ladies, and welcome to Her Confidence Her Way Podcast. I am your host, Emiko Rasmussen.皆さんこんにちは。Her Confidence Her Way Podcast ホストのエミコです。今日もこのエピソードを聞いてくれてどうもありがとうございます。And I also wanted to say thank you for all of your birthday wishes. Thank you so much. You guys made me feel like I'm such a special person, so thank you so much. I also found out that I have a birthday twin, so I just wanted to say happy belated birthday for Hannah. I know you're listening to this podcast, so just wanted to say happy birthday.Okay, let's do a listener shoutout. Today's listener shoutout goes to 千尋さんです。千尋さん、ポッドキャスト聞いてくれてどうもありがとうございます。千尋さんはインスタから、メッセージをいただいたんですけれども、彼女も悩んでることがたくさんあり、その中の一つがやっぱり何でも結構自分は乗り越えられるかなとかの不安と心配がたくさん積もってしまいますっていうふうにおっしゃっていました。I totally get it.私も不安とか心配することはたくさんあります。でも不安と心配とともになんか その先の What is possible なんか possibility 可能性とかも考えるようにしました。あとは心配しすぎても先には進めないので、その心配すること心配でこんなことが起きるかも、そしたらじゃあこういうことをすれば大丈夫みたいなこう作戦戦略みたいなとかを立てたりする時もあります。なので、多分私たちが勝手にこう心配の壁を作ってしまうことって多分多いと思うので、なるべくそういう心配とかがあったら、そういう心配とかが来る前に What is the goal? 自分のゴールは何なのか、そこでどういうポジティブなことが可能性があるかっていうことをまずフォーカスすることが大切なんじゃないかなって思います。I also want to say that it helps if you focus on what you can control. And it's really true. 本当にこう心配、あれもこれも心配で、こう自分の心配してるものって結構 out of control、 なんか自分のコントロールできないところだったりもするので、That's life, that's part of life なので自分のできることは何だろうって、やっぱり外に目を向けるんじゃなくて自分に目を向けることってすごく大切だと思います。And also, asking for lots of help is also important. 多分特にママの私たちにとっては、なんかママってこれもやらなきゃあれもやらなきゃってすごく思ってしまうと思いますが、But sure, we have to do that in order for us to raise a human beings でも we don't have to do this all by ourselves. Like we have a lot of friends, husband, partners, whoever is around you are also there for you, so use them So thank you so much for your lovely message. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and move on to today's guest. Are you ready for today's guest? The answer is yes. Let me introduce this amazing person. Her name is Yumi, and she is also known as 筋肉ギャル。筋肉ギャルってどういうことって思うかもしれませんが、If you see her Instagram, you will definitely understand what I mean. And if you hear her story, you will definitely understand what she does and everything. So I cannot wait to share her amazing stories. So please enjoy my conversation with Yumi.Hi, Yumi. Welcome to Her Confidence Her Way podcast. I'm super excited to have you today. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. I'm super excited as well.
Woohoo! All right, well, let's get started. I am wondering if you could please tell us who you are.
Sure. My name is Yumi. I am a Japanese American. I went to school in the States, but I've also lived in Japan for a while as well. And I'm a personal trainer, training people to become healthy, help them aim with their fitness goals, And I also compete in bodybuilding competitions myself.
Thank you. All right, so let's get started. Can you tell us about your college journey? I have recently saw your Instagram post. You had posted a picture at the graduation, I think. I don't know how many years ago that is. But you had, what you wrote there was pretty interesting. So that kind of got me, wanted to ask you more question about your college journey.
Sure. So I attended American University in Washington, D.C. It's actually a university that has relationship with Ritsumeikan in Kyoto. And that was actually the reason why I decided to go there. And they have a huge program in international studies. And when I was in high school, I thought at the time, I wanted to work for the United Nations. So I figured, why not go to DC? You know, it's very exposed. So that's where I went, and I studied international development for my bachelor's. And I worked, well, I guess this is going to be my after college, but I worked for JICA in the DC office for a few years, did some projects, really small, minor ones, but realized that my passion wasn't there. And so that's when I kind of started not focusing, but putting in a little bit more effort into my hobbies, which was at the time working out. And that's kind of where it got me today. Sorry, kind of sidetracked a little bit. But in college, I had a pretty normal, standard American college life, I guess. Nothing too interesting. I didn't study abroad since I was already in the States from Japan. So yeah.
Okay, so then you have realized that your passion isn't there. And then you have decided to compete for the competition. Is it how kind of transition or? So
this was, years ago. I was into 5K races. We have a lot of charity races, and I actually still live in DC area, and there's a lot of charity races. So I was participating in a lot of them, which required me to get ready and also do strength training at the same time. And back then I had no idea what these fitness modeling competitions were. So I decided I should just go watch one with a friend. And it's like, whoa, I definitely need to do one of these. So I made it my goal to do a competition. And I think for my first show, I gave myself around 2.5 months to prepare. And I made all the amateur mistake that you can make. And I didn't really hire a proper trainer to guide me through it. So I pretty much had no idea what I was doing. But on stage, I guess my now husband saw me. So maybe like a few months later, we randomly ran into each other at the mall, and he asked me if I did the competition. And that's kind of how I met my husband. That also sidetracked.
That's crazy.
So then he ended up, guiding me through the proper way of nutrition, diet, strength training, and I am here now with a new passion.
Wow. What is crazy is that when you went to watch one of those competitions and then you thought that, wow, you got to do one of these things. Like, that was so, like, it's interesting to hear. Yeah, well, like, if I watched this competition, all what I would think is like, so I don't know, maybe I would feel like super intimidated or something like that. I've never been to those competitions, so I don't even know what to expect. But the funny thing is, I don't know if it was your story, but so I had a really, really good friend. We used to go work out at the same gym, and she had a little bit of boy issue, and she had a big like a breakup. And that's when she decided to go to these type of competition. So that's when I left the States And then I came back again. And then when I saw her again, her name is Rosie. And Rosie was completely like transformed. She was like a little bit bigger side, and she's just like a picture, one of your pictures. So I was like, oh my gosh, what happened to you? This is so cool. But yeah, it was her boyfriend who I guess inspired in that sense.
Yeah, I think that's actually really common.
Really?
That was actually one of the reasons why I decided to do a competition as well, was my boyfriend at the time and I had a lot of issues. And I was like, I need to get my mind off of this. I'm going to do something I've never done before, and I wanted to really challenge myself.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually very common.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So, like, tell me, for, like, this, for, like, you said 2 months? It takes 2 months or so to prepare? 2 months to 3 months?
So it depends on, each individual, depends on how much, fat you would need to lose to look good on stage. It also depends on the division that you're competing.
Okay.
So they have several divisions where, like the fitness model type look is desired, and then there's like a little bit more of like the muscular divisions. And
so which division are you in?
So I started competing 5 years ago, and since then I've competed in 3 divisions. The bikini division, which is essentially the fitness model look that you would think. Figure division, it's a little bit more muscular, but they still want your feminine look. And then the physique division, which is very, you would probably think of like a bodybuilder.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you got to be very muscular for that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture like back in 2013 and 2018. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2013 is the bikini looking, or the fitness model, and then 2018 is the bodybuilder.
Physique. Yeah.
Wow. Like, so is there a lot of like eating restriction, and how often, how long do you work out? Like, tell me. I want to know.
Ideally, you want to be working on your physique the whole year because, even when you're not preparing for a competition, you want to be building your muscle so that when you diet down, you already have that foundation of muscle built up.
I see.
But I kind of have these slack moments where I kind of just eat whatever I want, which is not the best. But I do try and eat a certain amount of protein every day, carbs, fats, try and eat healthy, but, it's life and I love food. So I eat my fair share of junk food. Working out wise, a lot of people actually think I work out like hours a day, like every day at the gym. But I have a really short, like, 集中力.
Yeah.
I only have like a little bit of it. So I'll be at the gym maybe like an hour at the most, 4 to 5 times a week.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Like, all what I can say is wow.
Oh, thank you.
That is, it's a lot of determination too. I mean, once you said I'm gonna compete, like, this is it, right? Like, you can't. I mean, you could always back out if you really want to, but
yeah. It wasn't a straight road for me. I definitely had my fair share of sidetracking, and like, for example, when I first competed in 2013, I was so skinny. Like, in the picture you can't really tell, but when somebody saw me on the street, it like, you could probably think like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? Do you have an eating disorder? Like, I was so thin because I didn't really know the proper way of dieting down to be ready on stage. So I was probably eating like 500, 600 calories a day.
Oh, wow.
I would go to bed so hungry.
Yeah.
I am always like looking at food pictures because I'm so deprived.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, that was not a good time for me. And then afterwards I kind of learned, okay, like, you need to eat a little bit more, and make sure I'm doing the right training and cardio exercises. But then the year after, I ended up rebounding too hard from my first show that when I competed, I was not in shape as other competitors. So then I took maybe like a year and a half off to get myself together, to learn and really understand how things work. So then I competed again the year after. I won like a pretty good show, 2 shows in the same year actually. Yep. So it wasn't always, straight through success. It was like a lot of trial and error, but that's life. So.
Yeah, but thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, that's very, inspiring, because some people may think, like, oh, she's so determined and, this is all what she does. But in the reality, like, the true story is that you had a lot of struggles with it too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then this is like such a personal, just curiosity-wise. How do they determine like who has the best body? Is that a weird question?
So, no, it's not. It's a really good question.
Okay.
So this bodybuilding in itself is a very subjective sport. So it really depends on what the judge panel prefers on that day. So you really never know. It also depends on who your competitions are.
Right.
If there's a lot of, let's say, smaller people as opposed to being bigger, then the judges will probably prefer the most competitive amongst the smaller people. And for the bikini division, everything that you present is included in your judgment. So like your hair, your nails, your makeup, your bikini, your skin, like everything is included. So it's really difficult to say this is it. But all you can do is just prepare the best you can.
And also, it is pretty common that everybody gets suntan. Tanning is part of it.
Yes. Most people get spray tanned the day before the competition and also the day of the competition.
Oh, so it's actually spray tan.
Yeah. So it's super, super, super dark. It's not one of those like self-tanning darkness. It's like, it's dark.
Wow.
Yeah. And that allows you to show your muscle details better on stage.
Oh, I see. Okay. I was always wondering what's up with this tanning to do with this?
So I didn't know the importance of these tanning for my first competition. So I'm like, okay, I found a cheap deal on Groupon, so let me just go get a self-tan or a spray tan by my house. I got this all tan done, and I'm thinking like, oh, I'm pretty dark, like this should be fine.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, when you see my stage pictures, I am the palest person on stage.
That's the first competition you're talking about.
Yep. So that was already like a huge point. I lost a lot of points in that because I just did not look good. I was not tan enough.
I see. Wow. Yeah, I actually am looking at... Well, no, actually, this picture is from 2016. But, wow. This is a lot of work. And then so from this Kinniku right, the competition, to the certified training, the personal trainer and all that stuff. So like, how was the transition and what inspired you to be certified in these areas?
So when I first started competing, I had no intention of becoming a personal trainer. I've, along the lines, I've had people tell me, oh, you mean like you should become certified, you should become a personal trainer. But I was always like, no, this is my hobby and that's going to stay my hobby. And this is actually just last year. It came to a point where I started taking in some clients, and I realized if I'm going to be doing this more broadly, I need to be certified to prove to people that I have the knowledge and experience to help them through their fitness journey. Yeah. So, in a way, I was kind of avoiding it for the longest time. But I was like, I need this. So the certification I have is from the American Council on Exercise, and it's one of the, I think, I don't know if it's the most famous one, but it's very well known in the United States. So just bought the textbook or the study packet.
Yeah.
Studied as hard as I can.
Yeah.
And got certified.
How long did it take you?
I think took me maybe 3 months.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think for in general, I think it takes longer, but because I had a lot of experience, I knew a lot of the material already. I didn't. Yeah, it was a little easier for me. I mean, the test itself was really hard.
Yeah,
but
you might be able to click better.
Yeah, I was already exposed to it, so that helped a lot.
Wow.
So that's my personal trainer certification, and then this year I got my sports nutritionist certification. That I was also exposed to a lot of the nutrition since with my clients I work with their nutrition as well already. So I'm like, well, hey, I can present to you all that I have the certification for that as well.
Yeah. Okay, so as I guess in the area of like wellness and fitness and personal training, I assume, I don't know, maybe I'm just so used to seeing a lot of people who are in this area or not, but I'm going to say that this area is very saturated. Like there are a lot of people who are doing this. How are you trying to like differentiate between among the others?
That's a good question. The personal training business is very competitive. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
So my husband and I built Team Toro, which is our personal training company. It comes from our last name. I didn't realize. Yep, that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
I guess by providing real results, we don't really sugarcoat when we coach our clients. We let them know what needs to be done, what needs to happen. And we make sure that we're not, a lot of the time I feel like it's become so business centered that the personal trainers don't really care for the clients. It's just like a cookie cutter program. Like, okay, just do this. And they don't really listen to their clients' feedbacks, what they need, what they want, what they can and cannot do. But my husband and I really work with the clients. We make sure we have enough information. We know what their lifestyles are so that we can provide them programs where they can continue to do so even after the program with us is over.
I see. So what are the programs do you guys currently offer?
So we do both in-person personal training, which is probably what everybody would think. We have a small studio at in our house, so we do one-on-one personal training and work on their mobilities if they have to, strength training, cardio training, whatever they would like to work on. But also, online training has become a very mainstream way of training. I don't think it's as common in Japan, but it's a very common thing in the States now.
Yeah.
And so we provide our clients their workout split plan, their cardio training, and their meal plans.
I see. I feel like I'm not doing the proper workout, I'm going to say. I feel like I'm kind of just doing whatever. And I'm assuming there are a lot of clients like who have been doing something, right? But then you're not getting the results. And then finally like, oh, okay, I think I need a professional's help. What do you think? What kind of clients are working with you?
We have all levels. We have clients that are just starting to work out at home. Some people don't have the time to go to the gym or they have kids so they can't go to the gym. Yeah. So then we can always provide them with workout plans that they can do at home. We also have clients that compete in competitions, so we make sure to help them get ready to get on stage. And we have all levels: bikini, figure, bodybuilders, everything.
Yeah.
And for people that want to, for example, can you check this form for me? Because I don't know if I'm doing it right. They would film it and they can just text me or message me with it, and I give them feedback.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So just I'm hoping that if you could please like teach us a little bit about like workout and healthy eating, that'd be great. So like when it comes to, obviously you can't just work out and you can't just eat healthy food, because I'm assuming it's a combination.
Correct.
Yeah, and then I use YouTube, just a free video, but I do like a workout, and the instructor says, especially for like the ab workout, she always says abs are made in the kitchen. What you eat, 80% is what you look like. That's what she always says, and it's always like, I guess it's always in my head. And then when I'm in the kitchen, like eating something like really horribly, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the reason why my stomach is always looking like this. And then I think I asked you previously, like, okay, I have a really bad like a sugar crave, and then what do I do? And I think you told me like dark chocolate is like a good way. So like what can we do for like, let's say busy working moms or working career women who are wanting to eat healthy? And obviously eating healthy can mean so many ways, but in general, like what are that advice would you give us?
I would say, well, first of all, the abs are made in the kitchen statement is 120% true. I believe that. I preach that. I think food, what you put in your body, is super, super important to how you look. That being said, I know we're all busy and we can't be eating healthy all the time, but I think the key is to be prepared. So, for example, you have a new week coming up. Even if you make your lunch from, just do it all on Sunday or whenever you have the time, and make your meals. You already have the meals done, so you're not going to be sidetracked by, oh, I don't know what I'm going to eat. I'm just going to go over there and get a sandwich or whatever junk food or a hamburger. You already have your meals, so you don't want to waste it. You end up eating it, and you're going to feel great. And when you make it, you can also freeze your meals.
True. Yes.
And I know it sounds a little obsessive at first, but when you eat healthy, you feel so much better. You're not going to feel groggy or exhausted from all the junk food that you're going to eat. And you can control your portions. So I know it sucks, and I know it sounds obsessive, but try and make your meals beforehand.
Yeah. And then I'm a huge like snacker. Like I feel like I'm always snacking, and I thought, okay, this is like a total like zero knowledge of eating healthy.
That's okay.
I thought that just like eating fruits is just good. So I used to eat lots of fruits, and that's kind of like substituting from, eating like chocolate or, I don't know, muffins or cupcakes or whatever the not so much healthy food. And my husband told me like, oh, you eat like fruits way too much. That's why you're not losing weight. What would you say to people who are like me, who like to snack a lot? Like what are the good snacking? And is it true that eating a lot of fruit isn't actually a good thing?
That's a very good question. So fruit is, at the end of the day, it is natural, but it is sugar. So eating a lot of it, I wouldn't recommend it. I think you need to get in portion or in moderation.
Yeah,
definitely.
Moderation. There you go. Yep.
So for snacking, I would say eat something with lean protein in it, so that you feel full longer. If you're into sweet stuff, I definitely recommend like Greek yogurt to my clients. Greek yogurt has a lot of good protein. But make sure you buy the unsweetened or
Right.
unplain ones
Uh-huh.
because, oh my goodness, the amount of sugar in a
Yeah.
little tub of yogurt is
Yes.
insane.
Yes, I learned the hard way too. So I definitely understand. I was thinking like, oh, like fat free or like even like a low carb, like yogurt. It must be healthy. And then there are a lot of like, not just like a sugar, but also like chemical. Like there are a
Yep.
lot of because I never really read the labels before, especially like when I was a college student. I'm just a super
Right.
poor student, so whatever that I can get, like 10 for
Yeah.
10 yogurt,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, yeah.
Yeah, so I usually recommend them plain Greek yogurt.
Mhm.
And if you want sweetness, the sweetener that I recommend is stevia. It's a plant
Mhm.
sweetener, so it's not like Splenda, which is sucralose,
Oh my
or
gosh, yeah,
Equal or Sweet and
yeah,
Low, which is so bad for you. Your body cannot digest them.
right.
So please not take those artificial sweeteners.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I used to use that a lot
Me-
back in
yeah.
when I didn't really
Yeah,
have that
so
knowledge.
Greek yogurt is good. Also, like a handful of nuts, they're good too.
Mhm.
Just don't go overboard on the nuts because it's a high calorie. It has a lot of fats in it.
Mhm.
So make sure you portion control.
Is it use a
Not
handful?
like a handful, like a fourth
Okay.
cup is usually like one serving.
Okay.
Those are good. Trying to think what else. Some grocery stores have a decent protein bar. But make sure to read the labels.
Yeah,
And
I'm scared of buying those too because I don't know what is good, what's not.
yeah, it's personally I've been trying to cut those. I used to eat a lot of protein bars, but I've been trying to eat a little bit more. I don't know what the right word is, but less chemicals. So I've been trying to stay away from the protein bars. But
Gotcha.
If you're just starting out trying to learn, I think it's a great source of snacking.
I see. And then for workout wise, what obviously, depending on the person's personal goal,
Right.
it's going to be what But if you were to just stay in healthy, how often is there like such a thing as how often is minimum or how often is good enough or?
I'd say if you're just starting out or you have been working on a little bit, but you're still in like the beginning phase of your journey, don't burn yourself out. That's what I tell my clients all the time. I have them, I would say work out 3-4 times a week.
Okay.
I think that's a really good start. A lot of times they're like, oh, I'm going to start working out every day.
Oh.
I would highly go against that
Yeah.
because you're going to be motivated for maybe 2 weeks and then you're just going to burn yourself down.
It's like a New Year's resolution.
Yeah, exactly. I would much rather have slow progress and making sure that it becomes your lifestyle more so than just burning yourself out in 2 weeks.
I see.
So the balance, I think 3 to 4 times a week is probably a good point. You can probably, work out 30 minutes, 45 minutes at the most. And, do that for a month. And you've already done, 4 weeks of exercise. And it's slowly becoming your lifestyle.
Yeah, that's so true. And then when you say 3 to 4, is there a ratio in terms of like cardio and the weight?
Yeah. Again, like this is going to depend on
Right.
each individual, but I think you should do both strength training and cardio exercises. In the beginning, you can even do like half and half. And then eventually, I think your goal would be to decrease the amount of cardio you're doing and focusing more on the strength training.
I think that's what I need to do more. So for those who are like wanting to learn more about, what you teach, because obviously you have given generous enough to given us so many great knowledge and advice here. Like what would be the best way?
Yeah. If you would like to work with me, or if I don't know if you have any male listeners, but if you would like to work with my husband, feel free to contact us on Instagram. I don't know if you will have it.
Oh yeah.
On
I
here,
see,
but
like I'm looking at your Instagram right now. So your account is Positivity Booty.
yeah, it's actually from Positive and Booty, and I kind of combined it.
Oh my gosh.
So it's Positive Booty.
Positive Booty, yeah. And obviously, I'm gonna put all the links on in the show.
Yeah, that
notes,
would be great.
Yeah, and then you also have the Team Toro LLC account as well. Yeah, so those are the good place.
Definitely contact me. You know, I do English clients. 日本語も喋れますので、日本語も OK です。
Yeah. How did you... So you said that you were born in the States or you have moved here? Or?
Yeah, I was actually born in the States, but I also lived in Japan.
How do you keep up with these Japanese?
I think, honestly, I owe it to my parents. They were so supportive in making sure I was able to grow up bilingual.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I need to learn a lot from your parents then, because I have two daughters, and you know, obviously I do bilingual, not necessarily education, but I talk to them all in Japanese at home. But as they're getting older, they I guess they start mixing the languages more. So
yeah, so I actually had an interesting upbringing, I guess. So from first grade to third grade, I was in the States. I was put in public school. First day of school, I could speak like a word of English. I had no idea what I was doing, but you know, I'm like 6 years old. Kids grow and learn fast.
Yeah.
So by the time, you know, third grade ended, I was pretty fluent. And I also went to 補習校、土曜日の日本語学校 that helped me a lot with my Japanese. So then after that, I moved back to Japan. So I went to 日本の小学校、小学校3年生の途中から中学校3年生まで。
Wow.
All Japanese, 日本語で。While I was in 小学校, my parents would send me back to the States every summer to attend summer classes.
Oh my goodness.
So that I was exposed to English and I would use my English.
Yeah.
I also remember my dad making me read books and writing like kansobun.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you write kansobun, I'll take you out to do なんかガチャポン
Yeah.
わかります
Yeah. わかる。
そう、お父さんいつも感想文書いたらガチャポン1回やらせてあげるからって言われて、釣られて。
何ガチャポンは中身何のやつ？何でも？
多分ね、当時はね、なんかお化粧品とかネイルとかそういうのがあって。
入ってたガチャポンに？でも。
ありましたよ。
あるかも。高いやつは。
いや、多分100円とか200円だったと思う。
本当？
そう、それで簡単に釣られて。
なるほど。Wow, so I guess I just need to talk to your parents.
So, yeah, that really helped. So after middle school, I actually attended a boarding high school in the States.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, like I'm so, like my English is perfect. I'm not going to have any problems. Like all this stuff. I go into school and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going on. Everyone's talking super fast.
Yeah.
The way they study is very different. So I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, this is impossible.
Yeah. You know what? I recently interviewed. She was born in Japan and came to the United States when she was 5. And when she was in high school or something, she said that she struggled, although she didn't really have any communication issue in English. However, like some of the some of the vocabularies, because the conversation with her parents is very limited with English, right? So she did mention that she actually had a hard time keeping up with some of the like academic stuff.
Yeah, the biggest difference that I felt when I came to the States was that Japanese education is really based off of memorization.
Yeah, it's for like testing, right?
So, 暗記するだけで OK. But in the States, you need to analyze the information. and pretty much like form your opinion on it.
Yeah, like critical thinking part. Like in Japan, they'll ask you what is the answer, right? So like you're expected to just like answer, like you'll find the answer and then you answer, versus like in the States, I feel like, what do you think about this thing? Like,
Right.
you know, so I felt that was like one of the biggest difference too. Yeah.
So I didn't know how to study because I was so used to like copying everything from the chalkboard and just memorizing it. But I would go into class for like history classes. They don't write anything on the board. They're just like talking and lecturing. And I'm like, what am I supposed to write down on my notebook?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And so yes, I'll make sure to put all the links. But so all the listeners, if you're curious about or wanting to learn more about like workout, healthy eating, and all that stuff, definitely Yumi is the person to go.
Yes, I'm here. You know, don't be afraid to, you know, contact me. I'm very open to sharing information and helping other people. Yeah. So.
Oh, and are you doing the cleansing? Because I know you have mentioned something about cleansing.
Yeah. So I was doing it I was reading this book that had a bunch of cleansing stuff, and I maybe read like 4 or 5 books on it, and I kind of like combined everything and made my own program.
Yeah.
I think it's great to cleanse your body. But it wasn't for the long term.
Oh, I see. So it's like you just do it once to kind of reset.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I need to do. I think it was last summer. I did a green smoothie diet, so I did follow like, you know, one of those recipes, and I think it was like I didn't even make a goal for 7 like 1 week, because that was like way too long for me. So I think I said 5 days or something, and after that for a while I didn't crave any sugar. So that was great, but then now I'm back into wanting to eat.
Yeah, you know, sugar is so addictive.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I definitely experienced that. So yeah, so anyway, so all those information, if you want to learn, definitely connect with Yumi. All right, so let's move on to her confidence, her way power questions. Are you ready?
I think so.
All right, so the first question, how would you define your own self-confidence, and how are you building your own?
Okay. 日本語で答えようと思います。Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. お願いします。
Okay. 自分らしくいること。You always want to be original. Nowadays, there's so much distraction with social media, and it's of course obviously been beneficial, but it's also impacted people in negative ways, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of making everyone feel like, oh, you have to be this, or you have to fit in, or you have to, I don't know what the right word is, but regardless of all this distraction around our life, I think being you, 自分らしさ, that translates to your self-confidence, because you're not ashamed of who you are. You're not worried about showing who your true self is.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so I want to know, what is your gifted talent and how are you using it?
I don't know if I have a gifted talent, but I think me being bilingual and also bicultural, since I'm not just a bilingual, I understand both the U.S. culture and the Japanese culture since I've lived in both countries.
Yeah.
I apply that to my personal training when I'm working with my clients.
That's great.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
You know, I understand sometimes clients will be like, hey, like I have to go to this nomikai, where, you know, in the US culture, you're like, no, you just don't go. You don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But in Japan, I understand that it's, you know, sometimes you just have to go.
Yeah.
You know, like I understand 人付き合いの大切さ. I understand that fully.
Yeah.
So then, you know, I talk to them about like, how are we going to work around it? What are you going to eat? Do you need to drink? If you have to, how are we going to work around it?
Yeah.
things like that.
Wow, that is such a great advice. Like, don't go, rather than like, okay, here are the things that you can do, and that's so great. And then I think you said it in a note too, like being able to take action, because you went to see a competition, and then you're like, okay, this is it, and then you actually like did it. Like that itself, it really shows that you're able to take action. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to regret not doing things. And I think, you never know when your life is going to end. So I think, rather than, okay, I'll do this like at some point in my life, why not do it now?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Why not do it now?
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. So the next question is about your ikigai. Have you ever heard of the term ikigai?
Yep.
Okay. So what is your ikigai?
I think it's changed over the years. Right now, especially with my personal training business, I think transferring my knowledge and my passion to my clients. Like I love when my clients show results. But more than that, when I hear, because of your program, I've changed my thinking towards dieting and working out. Like when they start loving the entire process, that means more than anything to me. So
amazing. And this is my last question. What would you like to say to women who are listening to this podcast and who wanted to live a purposeful and meaningful life with confidence?
Okay, that's such a good question. I wish I could probably write like 20 sentences. But from a personal trainer perspective, please take care of your body, because that's where you begin. If you're not healthy, you can't do anything. So you have to first take care of your body to be able to set your goal, work towards your goal, and achieve your goal.
Yeah, well, that's great. And I always have to remind myself to take care of myself first, because I tend to, especially I have kids always like in front of my face, like telling me like what they want, and when they start screaming, like I feel like, oh my gosh, like I am about to break down, like all those things. But I have to tell myself, like, take my time, take your time, it's okay, like breathe.
And I'm not just saying in terms of exercise. I'm saying in all aspects to take care of your health, because you need to sleep 6-7 hours a night, so that your brain can function properly.
Oh my gosh,
if you're so stressed out, meditate for 5 minutes. I know it's hard for a lot of people, but meditation can also really help you calm down and clear your mind.
I mean, 5 minutes. If you can't take 5 minutes out of your life, I think there's something wrong with it. Like 5 minutes, or there's like even 3 minutes up. Like you should be able to take at least 3 minutes.
And I think it's not really or so that you can or can't. I think a lot of times people are afraid to do that kind of stuff, because
the meditation wise. I mean, they don't. If people are afraid of doing meditation, like they can always do something, just like be in a quiet place, just like breathe for a minute, like without any distraction or something like that. For sure. Well, thank you so much. That was all. Is there anything else like that you want to tell the listeners?
I think that's it. If you like we talked about before, if you have any questions, concerns, you want to learn more about my personal training programs, please hit me up, because I would be more than happy to help.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
There you have it. I hope you had enjoyed my conversation with Yumi. How was it? She is amazing, right? I mean, bodybuilding contest? wow, I've never, well, except one actual friend, I never get to hear the story of how difficult it is to go through this competition. I bet it's not just the training and it's not just the eating, but it's the mindset too. I know we didn't really get to talk about it, but I bet you have to be really confident, and also you have to show that to the judges. And I'm pretty sure you can hear me saying wow the whole entire time. But yeah, all what I could say is wow. So thank you, Yumi, for sharing this amazing story. And there's so many things that she said that I really wanted to highlight. But one of the things that she said was about, she said she likes to take action because she never wants to regret not having done. And it's so true. At the beginning of this episode, we talked about worrying too much about things, especially things that never happened yet. And because of those worries, that really stops us, right? Those worries are the one that stop us or limit us to really move forward and take action towards what you really want to do. So it is super important to think about it. You only got one chance, one life, right? Life is too short worrying about the things that never really happen, or things may not gonna happen, and actually you're not gonna be able to do the things that may bring your joy or that may bring your satisfaction or whatever that is. So super, super, super important to take actions and just focus on things that you can do. And the other things that she said, and this is definitely the title of this episode, but take care of your body. Oh, that is so true. I mean, if you're not in the best condition, you can't serve yourself, you can't serve other people, and your body is where you begin. That's what she said. It's so beautiful. So thank you for such a powerful, inspiring message. Remember, you are already great enough, and you actually need to stop being mean to yourself. We tell kids, we tell other people not to be mean to others, and why are we doing the same thing to our own self? So stop. 今のあなたで十分です。Have a fantastic day. Bye bye.